Hello, howdy, howdy. Good evening to all my fellow clay workers. Oops, I have my phone on. There's like a 9-second delay from what I say till it pops out on my phone. Hey, Miss Peggy and Diane, how are you both? We are, let's see, we got, who do we have here? Rhonda, Beth, Deb, Diane, Will, Kathy, Peggy, so far. So, wonder what we have in store tonight. So, y'all slabbers saw me do a project last week, and I'm going to do a different project this week with part of the same thing, but different. So, also, tonight we are going to do the spin to win, the $100 gift card to my website. For those of you who played along and joined in on the fun of creating the melting snowman. Boy, was that fun. Let's see, I've got Bettina and Misty on. I think I forgot to tell Mr. Wilson I was upping the time a half an hour. What are you doing? Did you forget it was at 5 instead of 5:30?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was feeding and watering the chickens and rabbits.
He was feeding and watering the chickens and the rabbits. And forgot we had moved it to 5 o'clock. So, hey Barb, hey Jane. So those of you, hey Patricia, or you go by Patty. For those of you that did make a melting snowman, I have your names in the spin wheel. We'll do that more at the end. Hey Barb from Ohio. What is that? Oh, chicken eggs. I don't know if you could tell the color of this. Flip that light off for just a second. Can you see how green and brown these eggs are? We have Easter eggers. Our chickens, the breed is called Easter egger, and trying to get the green. Green eggs, chocolate eggs are our Marins, and then we also have mauve eggs and light brown eggs. Trying to get a spot where you can see the color.
Go up.
Maybe up. Oh, there we go. How's that?
One of our Easter eggers lays a light blue egg, but she's not laying that.
Yeah, and we have a light blue egg layer too. Whoa! But she's not laying right now. When it gets winter, their laying times go down. Penny, you made it. Woohoo! Must be 6 o'clock in your neck of the woods. Anyhow, so I want to get started. Oh, it's only 5:03. Where's the ham? Well, with the green eggs, you know, we always told my grandkids, oh, come on over. You're going to have green eggs and ham. They learned early, though, that the inside of that green egg is the same. Hey, Christine. But I would love some green eggs and ham. I'm playing with the project for tonight because I used, and you'll hear me in the video talk about what I used. Hey, Melody. Hey, Melody. What, Mr. Wilson? Yeah, we've been... So, Mr. Wilson, somebody said, where's the ham? And Mr. Wilson's like, I would love some. Because we're trying kind of a more plant-based diet, not strictly, because like we'll eat fish, fresh caught fish that like he caught when he was at the coast a few weeks ago, and deer, because those are fresh right off the back of our property. And yeah, I don't know how many of you don't like this, but rabbit, we raise meat rabbits. And so we're trying to eat just those few types of meats that we specifically raise that have nothing in them, and mostly plant-based. Trying desperately to get this blood pressure down. Like right now, my head is pounding, my ears are ringing. My bottom number is back up to 100 again. So we've got to do something. Howdy, howdy, and hey, Jen. All right, so at the end of this broadcast, I will spin the wheel. I've got everybody's names in. If you don't see your name and you did, my niece collected these for me off of all Instagram, Sharon Hoppe Designs business page, Slab to Fab groups, and this group. So if by chance anything was missed, jump in first off if you don't see your name on the wheel and you actually submitted a melting snowman, so that I can throw your name in there real quick before we spin. Hey, Rachel. Okay, so tonight, y'all ready? Are you ready? You know, I really wish this was more interactive than me just talking to myself and answering the comments. Slabbers, we have got to do a Zoom and play in the clay together in a Zoom. We haven't done that in a while, so I need to get one of those together, and I have a perfect fun little project for that. We will set that up. All right, I'm not showing you what we're making yet tonight until we get closer to it being finished, but right now I'm going to start with the first video. Melody, you're ready. Ready for a Zoom? Woohoo! All right, here we go. Okay, we're going to get started with another project here. I just have a slab of clay here. Let me bring this over where you can see it. This is my clay supplier's T-Mix, which is basically the equivalent to Laguna's B-Mix, but since they're out of B-Mix, I have resorted to T-Mix. The difference is this is super, super wet. So, as always, and for you newcomers, I'm going to compress this clay. You always want to do this. This will help you avoid some cracking. Now this clay does work a little different than B-Mix. It does tend to give you those little bitty, you probably can't see them on camera, but those little bitty fine like cracking, and it's also extremely wet. So I'm going to actually, even though it's wet, I'm going to actually dip my rib in the water so it will slide over these little cracks and take care of them for me. All right, now, there we go. Both sides are done. What I want to do is I want to put some texture on this because of the project that we're making. It will look better with texture, possibly. You never know. But I also want to consider which direction I'm going to be using this texture. And I want to consider which direction I roll this as to where my template's going to go, so that I think this looks like garland. And if I go this way or this way, it still looks the exact same. So I'm going to take my template this direction, and I want my garland going up and down. So I'm going to come right in the middle of this clay. I'm going to stand up. I like to be up over my clay, and I'm going to roll this. And I'm going to be careful. Now, I'm not pushing really hard, but if you're up over the top and push down, you get a better roll. And as you can see, I'm talking as I'm doing it. So I'm not exerting a lot of pressure or a lot of power. I'm trying to stay out of the camera and come right over to the edge. And I want to see if my template, oh yeah, that'll fit perfect. Now I may, just for fun, see if I can get my rolling pin in here. Probably not. I'm going to move this little piece of clay. And I'm going to see, woo, look at how wet this is. Woo, goodness sakes. See if I can get over here a little bit and add texture to this end. Now if I go that way, am I going the right way? No, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not going to be that big of a deal for me. So I'm going to put this back over and put this back over here. And I am going to go let this set up a little bit. And then we'll be back because I cut some of this off. I don't need all this. And then we'll be back after this sets up a little bit because right now it is way too wet to deal with it. Okay. Luann, if you're really you and on, put in a comment that it is you and you've not been hacked. So, hey, Diane, Doreen, this is a great pattern. Wait till you see what I'm putting it on. And let's see, we've got Melissa on. Hey, Melissa, haven't seen you in a while. Renee, Pat, Katie, Susan, Sharon, Charlotte, Amy. My goodness. Let's see. Renee, I sent you a private message a second ago. Yay, Melissa, you finally got signed in. Renee, look at your private messages and send me a message back. Hey, Diane. So let's see. I didn't see that roller when I ordered my others. Oops, I was cleaning the keyboard. Okay, Luann. I just wanted to make sure it was you and you had not got hacked, or that maybe you have a dog or a cat that was running across the keyboards. Just checking. And hey, Terry. Okay, so this specific pattern is called Wiggles and Squiggles. It's been on the website for a while, but for the project I'm doing tonight, I could, oh, you're very welcome, Luann. I could not resist that specific rolling pin for what I'm creating tonight because it was just too perfect. So let's get going on to the next video. Okay, while my clay is stiffening up some, again, it's so wet, I have been playing with creating some dies today. And along with this project, I created this die. Oops. Looks kind of like a keyhole. Now, I may have made my little circle a little big, but we'll see, and I can adjust. But in the meantime, and I'm not using my Milwaukee battery powered only because, why am I not? Oh, because I was testing, and I had my clay in this little one. But for the amount of extrusion that I need, I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. And I'm going to squeeze and extrude, and I lay my extruder flat on the table so that I can hold and pull my extrusion out. And I can tell you that I think the little bulb I made on the top of this is a little big for what I want to do, but that's okay. I'm just making a big long one. And that's probably big enough. This over here. Okay. Now I have a big long piece. I'll lay this across here. I do have a couple little air holes that it just real simple to wipe over and fix, just like that. And I want this to lay pretty flat. Oh, not even in the camera. Sorry. Okay, I want this to lay pretty flat. That was an air hole that I'm just going to fill up and come across with my sponge. Let's see if I can get that to fill in, or I just snag a little piece off the end and stick it on the top, smooth it in, and you're never gonna see that. Okay, so what is this gonna be? We're gonna have to go through this project and find out. I'm gonna just lightly sponge across all of this just to get the little cracks out, and then I'm gonna lay it aside on my board because I don't need it yet, but this is what it is. And when you stand it up, you see this top rib, and then that's just gonna stand. You're gonna have to wait and see what that is. We have our clay. Okay, any clues? Any ideas? We've got the wiggles and squiggles texture, and then we've got that little bulby type extrusion. Whether I'm using my handheld extruder or the battery one, I do lay it flat on the table and then extrude and not try to hold it because it's heavy, it's hard on my wrist, and if you just lay it on the table and hold, you can pull the extrusion out and you can squeeze it. Getting close, Katie. Very close. So let's move on. I might, in this next video, I might actually say, oh, you'll see what it is in this next video. But you're only going to see the first part of what this is, not an ornament. You're only going to see the very first part of what this is. So don't think, oh, it's just a simple dish and go away, because you want to see what we're going to do with it. Bulbs, it's very close. Let's see. Where's my video? Okay. I am back. I have my banding wheel and just my little super bat with my peg. Now, this peg is simply, where did I put it? Oh, behind me. This is to hold things in place. I'm using a 12-inch tree as a lip template. I'll scooch up where you can see more as soon as I get my clay out of the way. And then I'm using our tree snack tray form that fits right in here. See how you get that perfect lip? This set actually has the snack tray pieces that go in here as well. And you're done. And these pieces come with their own little lip templates as well, so you can do individual snack tray pieces. Like here are their little lip templates. I showed this, demoed this, did a thing on it for my Slab to Fab group last week. And this set is available on my website today. I think my camera's like cockeyed, because if you turn it this way, you'll see it's the same lip template all the way around. But when it just sits right here, it's like cockeyed. But that's okay. You'll see. It is the same. So you can do multiple things with this. Now, I did roll my clay. Remember I said I wanted the curve to go this direction. So I'm actually going to turn this sideways. You see my clay over there? Because I'm going to bring my clay across, and having this peg will keep this in place. So I'm going to bring my clay across and put this little garland right across this tree. Let me bring this, I'm going to bring this way so I can reach. I'm going to have to step up, reach over. And I like to have my texture away from me so that I can lay it down and see that I got it right where I want it. And I laid it across there. Now I can pull this down where you can see it better. Now, sometimes I like to take and just kind of drop that. You see how that goes around there? And I'm going to take my knife and just get rid of some of this excess that I don't need just to get it out of my way. That is such wet clay. It is still super wet. Just get that right out of my way. Now, I do have texture, so I am going to be very cautious. This is pretty bright in here, isn't it? I'm going to kind of lightly bring this clay in to where the divots are so you can see the tree. And again, I'm being very cautious so that I don't mess up my texture. But you see that tree already starting. So, but if you think this is just going to be a regular old tree snack dish, you're going to have to stay on and watch and see. Now I'm going to lightly rib over the top of this. I don't want to mess my texture up on the inside. And this clay is so wet that it just laying on itself could smush that big old deep texture. And I'm going to leave this one flat. I am not going to put a foot on it. And now I'm going to come around with my small rib. I do dip it in water just to help it glide around here. This particular T-Mix clay does have a tendency to do those little surface crack things. It doesn't compromise or cause a big crack, but that's why I like to wet it also. And my forms have those rounded edges, so you don't have to worry about pressing down and causing a crack there. All right, oops, it's not the one I want. Where are the rest of my ribs have ran away? That knocked the jar off on the floor. That would have been loud. I'm just going to use this one. It's got a rounded edge. I like my other edge better, but I don't know where it is. So one of the things in clay you learn is compromise. Use what you have, not always what you want. The one that's laying right here beside me is the one I was looking for. Not the one that had brown clay all over it. Let me wipe this off before I smear this all in. All right, now let's finish up with this one. And around and around. And then I'm just going to wipe this down. And I'm doing it very lightly, not to mess up my texture. I don't know what's going on with here. This clay is so wet. A little spot in here that I want to fix. All right. Now, just going to take my needle tool and notice how I'm just spinning this as I go. I'm going to come in, I'm going to hit that lip template, and I'm just coming around. spinning it as I go. Makes life so much easier. There we go. Now I'm going to take this excess off. Now, do you see why it's going to look like garland in there? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now once I take this off, look at that garland. I do like to come back around and just help get any little excess out of there that might be there. It's faster. It's little things like this. I find it easier to just come back around now that I can see that lip template and just kind of pull off those little excess pieces. I think it finishes better and it doesn't take so long with, it's this, and it doesn't take so long as sponging does. So sometimes I'll take my needle tool and kind of angle it in and take off the whole little lip part as well. It depends on the day and it depends on what I'm actually looking for. But I got to finish it, I think, now that I started it. This just kind of helps take the edge off if you want the edge off. And look at that tree. Oh, 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 oh. I can't wait to flip this and see what it looks like with that texture and then show you what we're going to do with it. Okay. Just an ordinary tree, you say. Just an ordinary little dish, you say. It's me. I like things like different. Out of the box, right? So, bulbs, Christmas lights, garland. Yes. And yes. Let's see. Did anybody have a question? I did not see any questions. I did see Darlene, Ellen, Connie, Dorothy. I don't think I mentioned Teresa. So hello to you guys. Now, let's flip this and see what you think of this texture. We are back. I hope this is dry enough to flip. It was extra dry. Yeah, add more water, Sharon. Just trying to keep these edges from drying up on me. All right. I'm just going to take a template here and flip this. Actually, let me take it off the peg. The peg's in the bottom. Peg. And I'm going to go ahead and put this brown side down and flip it over and see what we've got. Now I did notice a slight little piece of crack right there, and that's due to this particular clay. But when I take my form out, that will fix rather easily. And I'll want to get that nice and fixed. Okay, look at this gorgeous edge on this. I'm hoping it'll come out. It's still very, very wet. Very wet, but we'll see. I'll put my little plucker doodad in there. Screw my little screw in. And let's see what we have. Oh, there. Whoa. Look at that tree. Now, is that not a garland looking tree? Gosh, I almost don't even want to do anything to it but leave it like it is. Holy smokes. Do you know how gorgeous that's going to be? Whew. Do I want, love the plucker doodads. Do I want to change that up? Oh, it's perfect. Ah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to finish doing what I was gonna do, I'm just gonna very lightly, very lightly go around these edges. That's where I thought I might have been getting a crack. Wanted to make sure that was taken care of. And you just barely wipe any little crumbs off, because it's just, with that little lip template, it just makes a perfect lip every time. I love it. All right. I'm going to mess it up. All right. And did you see the arm of Mr. Wilson? He was standing here with me watching the video, and when it comes off the video, he was like, oh, oops. He forgot he was standing right here in the camera. But that's okay. Y'all know who he is now from his handle making class, which we have other designs of it coming to show you what you can do to change yours. And the extruder dies are being tested. Oh, and the braided ones we have, I should get extruder dies. Oh, these are the ones I was using today. I was using this one on practice pieces. That one was too small. And this is what I used on the little garland thing. So I'm hoping to get extruder dies up this weekend, if possible. Oh, y'all love Mr. Wilson, huh? Don't give him a big head. I have to live here. Okay, so when I flipped that dish, I about flipped my lid. That texture was so awesome on there. Holly Goodman says hi.
Well, Holly, I said hi.
Hi. Did you guys get another boat yet? I know it's getting a little cold for that. We got to get together and go fishing, guys. Okay. So, huh?
To the coast.
Yeah, Mr. Wilson just got back from the coast, but you guys need to come up and we'll go fishing here, or we'll come down and go fishing there, Holly. Okay, so now you should do a new one without anything. Yes, I am going to do another one. In fact, Mr. Wilson and I were talking while the video was running. I really hated to mess this up. It was so gorgeous. I'm going to do a bunch more of these with what I'm going to do and without. But what I'm doing right now is just showing you, oh, Holly. I have a pontoon. You want to buy my pontoon or buy my houseboat? We have stripped it and we never have put it back together yet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm making with this one. And then you can bet I'm going to be making more with and without the garland in it. Here we go. Okay, we're back. And remember, when we extruded earlier, it was this piece like this. So let me show you what I plan to do with this. I'm going to come here. This is the same clay. It sure doesn't look the same color, does it? But it is. And come here. And come here. Stick that in there, like that. And stick this right here. Let me cut some of this off. This may or may not be the same clay. This might be the Arctic. Might have been in my extruder. I don't know. Okay, now see that? Now when I put that in there and connect this, I'm going to have a divided dish. And this extrusion, what did I do with that other piece? Let me grab a piece. Whoa! This extruder die that I created has a bubble on the top, and just narrow ribbon on the bottom that I can score the bottom and put in here along the edges. And look at that. So then when I glaze this dish, I can put colors on the dots. I can also just color this top ribbon and leave the bottom of it not colored and have that piece of garland coming through my dish. And so that was that extruder die that I created for that. Now, let me grab something real quick. I also have this extruder die longer to where I can wrap this and come around and do the tree in garland, but I have a better die for that coming soon that I'm working on. So I'm just going to set that over there. Always working on things, but I have to test them before I can put them out. All right. So what I'm going to do is I like the way that sits. Yeah, I do like the way that sits. Mostly. Let me fix. Yeah, I like it better like that. More up there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come probably right about here, and I'm going to cut this at an angle, which I should have probably cut the angle to the inside, but that's okay. I'll just smush it into the inside. So it'll line up like that. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut at an angle. Can't see what I'm cutting here. So that this can come in at an angle as well. And I'll fix how that looks. And I think what I'm going to do is cut it the correct way. I'm going to cut in at this angle. So that'll go and look better like that. All right. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to mark where I have this because I want it to be the same. So I'm going to put a little mark in here so that I know where to come back with that, where I was over here, and I'm going to put a little mark on that. Now, I'm going to mark this right there as well. And this has a little mark down here and here. So, I think I also want to take my rubber tip tool and just kind of go right. That's not going to work. I'm going to use my needle tool and just go right along this edge of this band so I'll know right where to score it, because I don't want to mess up my gorgeous texture by overscoring. Now I'm going to go to the outside of it as well. Again, I want to know where I'm scoring. So I'm just right up against that. All right. So when I take this out, and I'm gonna flip it right upside down right here. Maybe you can see, let me scooch this so you can see that. And I want to score this. And then I want to come in here and I want to just barely score in these two double lines I created. So I'm going to take my time and really just kind of score in this double line, taking out some of the depth of that texture. See that line I'm creating? So that I'll have a good connection. And I'm going to come up the side of this right where it connects as well. Okay, now I've got a nice score up the side of this. All right, got that. Where's my, there it is, my little craft brush for water. I'm going to come along the top of this. And I'm going to, whoa, a little too much water there. You know, the more I look at that, the more I think that that's Arctic and not tea mix that was in my extruder. So I'm going to actually go off camera and switch out my extruder for tea mix just so that I'm positive it's tea mix. And I'll come back with that same, well, yeah, because if it's not going to shrink at the same rate, and I'm going to have a mess of my beautiful dish. So let me go. I'm just going to re-extrude the same piece, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm really glad I did this because this was definitely Arctic. Look at the difference in this. But since I've already measured, I'm going to simply measure this. And let's see. I'm going to cut that at an angle. Cut that at an angle. And hope I did them on the right side. Now I'm going to stand this up and do exactly what I did earlier, which is just take my rib. I'm going to set that there to hold that up. I'm going to take my serrated rib and come across the top of this. We don't need to get in a hurry. This is, we want this to turn out really good. I'm just kind of holding that up. Okay. I'm going to take my brush, add some water to that. It's super wet, so I'd probably get away without it, but I want this to stay. All right. Now, I want to take this where it started, which was right here, and because I changed, I want to make sure I have enough clay before I lock it in. Oh, how was that? That was perfect. So now I'm going to press this in. I don't want to mess up my round garland that I'm putting on it. And when you glaze this, if you actually glaze just the ball on the top and not the ribbon below, it will totally look like garland. Totally awesome. Which is what I was after, so I will do that. I'm just going to blend this in so look at that. And I'm going to press this, wiggle, 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 wiggle it down. Now, I am going to score this here because I want it secured. And now I'm going to press this here so that that is also secure. Oh, look at that. And I can see down here where I need to make sure it's pressed down. And again, trying not to mess up my little ribbon on the top. And now let's secure this part. And I just use my finger and pull this clay out onto the top so it's blended in, it's going to stick, and it's secure. Look at that. How is that for a cool divided dish? Now, I'm going to take my sponge and smooth this out, get any little finger marks out of it that I did. Look at that. And look at how that blends right in like it belongs. Love it. Now I could actually blend this over the side, but I think I'm going to leave it just like that is right there. So, did I get your creative juices flowing? You now see, this is pretty dry. You now see why I said, when I flipped this dish over, I really almost didn't even want to put the little garland on it. I think this garland and dividing it that way will actually look even better on a untextured tray. Now, I did one before with simply, why is that light so bad? Oh, because I turned this one off. Maybe that'll help. No, because that one is so bright. Let me do this. So I did this one, and it just was a little thin slab of clay, and I didn't like it. That's why I created a die with a ball on it. But just think, if this had no texture, and then you glazed it green and glazed just the top of this ball red, how gorgeous would that look? And I think I showed you this one from last week. Oh, my dishes are all lopsided because I turned it. But you could add the inserts as well and have a snack tray. But anyway, so that's that. I loved the ideas of putting little strips of garland that went right along, that matched this texture. That would be gorgeous. And I think what I'm going to do is glaze this with a dark green, and then do this strip in red. And then I may come back in with like the tip of my brush dipped in red and hit these little dots. You know, that's going to take some time, but I think I'm going to do that and then have the little red dots and the big red. And I think that will glaze up nice and pretty. But I'm also going to do some of these without the garland and just that glaze. I mean, just that texture, because that texture just makes the perfect Christmas tree. I cannot believe it. So wiggle it just a little bit. The song jumped into your head. That's funny, Jen. Okay, that's it for this. Now, what I want to do, and I got to set this up. Let's see. Okay, we're back. And remember, hold on. Where did I move? I'm trying to do something here, and I don't remember how I got there. Oh, there it is. Okay, can you see that perfect on there, Mr. Wilson? Did that update? There it is. Okay, so those of you that, let me, hold on. I want to do, hold on. I want to do this. Now I want to go here. Hold on. I don't want that. I want that there. I want that there. Now I want to go here. Ha! Go away. I don't want you on. My face should be up there. Hold on. Trying to get my face up there. It's up there. Well, you're just going to have to look at the, oh, wait, there we go. Hold on. I'm going to have to look at the tree. I had it working earlier. But those of you that entered the contest for, those of you that entered the contest for the melted snowman, your names are in here. And as I said, we are going to do the spin it to win it. Now, guys, those of you that did not do this contest, look at, there's not that many names. The chances of winning a $100 gift certificate are huge. So, okay, we're back. And remember, when we, sorry, I went to the wrong one. The chances of winning are huge on this, guys. So next contest, be sure and do it. Because you've got a big chance to win. I'm trying to figure out if I can get this to work this way. Nope, I can't. So, all right. Are we ready? We are going to hit spin, and we are going to see about spinning it. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, spin! Oh, whoops. Hold on. I got to spin it on this one. Woo! Did it go?
No.
Oh, spin. There it goes. And it is Carol Toomey. Oops.
Oh, man. Woo.
Okay, Carol Toomey, you are the winner of a $100 gift certificate for simply making a melted snowman. Are you on, Carol? I don't know that I've seen you on tonight, but look how easily she just won a $100 gift certificate, simply making a melted snowman. So we are going to have several more fun games like that coming soon. So be sure and get in on the fun. And with that, that's it for, oh, look at the clay all over my shirt. That's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And make yourself a very merry Christmas tree with wiggles and squiggles as your garland. And I will see you next week. You're welcome.